Welcome, everyone. I'm Daniel Joseph. You're on the corner Fringe, and I just want to break away for a few moments today. For those of you who don't know, technically, I'm on sabbatical, but I feel I need to share this word of encouragement with you and something that the Lord really impressed upon my heart. Currently, right now, I'm in about 5 or 6 different books of the Bible, just kind of plowing through on my own personal study. And isn't it amazing? I mean, this is what amazes me, how living and powerful the Word of God is that I can go through a passage that I have read 100 times, and even more than that, a passage I know by heart, and yet I can go back and reread it, and somehow the Lord makes it as though it's the first time I've ever read it, and it ministers to me in a powerful way. I mean, this is the supernatural power of the Word of God. If you are seeking the Lord with all your heart, one thing I can promise you is this: the Word of God will never become boring. It will never become dull. See, when the Word of God becomes boring and dull to you, it is because you have become complacent, and other affections have taken place and precedent in your heart. And that's a very scary place to be, a place that you will not want to be. But when you are plugged in with the Lord, man, His Word is life. You hang on every word that proceeds from His mouth, and it ministers to you, and it gives you strength. And I just want to give you an example of that today, at least with me on my journey, as I'm going through a few different books of the Bible right now, and it's amazing how the Lord links ideas and He brings it all together for you. And I just want you to have a quick experience of this, and my hope is that it's going to bless you. And so I'm going to take you all to a passage that I'm going to estimate probably 90+%, if not all of you, know by heart. And that is Acts chapter 3, verse 1. Now Peter and John went up together to the temple at the hour of prayer, the 9th hour. And again, many of you understand that, as the Jerusalemites, the Jews in the first century, it was customary in the morning sacrifice, they would go up. It's morning time of prayer before 9 a.m. And then at the evening, at 3 p.m., that evening sacrifice, there was another time of prayer carved out. And they would ascend to the hill of the Lord to be joined with the Lord, to meditate, to worship Him. Talk about such a cool environment to live in. This would be done daily. I mean, I think about that. God was part of their daily ritual. And so it's so powerful to see this. Verse 2, and a certain man lame from his mother's womb was carried, whom they being obviously associates, friends, family, people that care for this man, that love this man, they laid daily. They brought him daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms from those who entered the temple. Now, this man, born lame, cannot walk, has no real opportunity in life to support and sustain himself. He can't work because he can't walk. And so this is problematic. So his friends, his family, people that love him and care for him, they act in wisdom. And what do? They bring him, number one, you think about this, he's going to the gate to ask for alms, but, he's also drawing near to the Lord. And he's asking these things from the right people. People who have God in their hearts, people who are seeking God. It makes sense to go to people that are seeking the Lord for support, to those that can't even support themselves. And so there's a lot going on in this passage from multiple angles. It's just so cool to me. And so here the friends are bringing him up, and this man's in need. He needs the basic elements of life. He needs food, he needs clothing, etc. Continuing on. Who, seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, he asked for alms. That's why he's there. It's why he's at the gate. As righteous men come in to seek their God, he is hoping that they will show compassion on him. And you know the old proverb from Yeshua, if you will, ask and ye shall receive. seek and you shall find, knock, it shall be opened. And so what is this man doing? This man is asking. He's asking for help. And fixing his eyes on him with John, Peter said, "Look at us." So he gave them his attention, expecting to receive something from them. Well, obviously, because Peter comes, "Look at us." So he draws their attention, and his expectation, and this is my point, his expectation is that they're going to step up. And the very thing that he has asked for, alms, support, they are going to give to him. But then we read this. Then Peter said, "Silver and gold I do not have." Oh man. Can you imagine? The very thing he's asking for, this is what I need. This is what I need to have. This is what I need to, but I can't survive without this. And his heart is literally steadfast and hoping for all these righteous men coming in, that one of them is going to show them compassion. And then the one that turns to him, acknowledges him, now responds and says, "What you're asking me, I don't have. Silver and gold I don't have." But then he says this. He says, "But what I do have, I give to you. And the name of Messiah Yeshua of Nazareth, rise up and walk." You want to talk about the Lord doing something beyond magnificent. It's so interesting to me because as I'm reading the book of Acts, I am reading the book of Ephesians. And one of the most prominent passages that has always stuck out in my mind in Ephesians, as you go to Ephesians 3:20, is that our God is able to do above all that we ask or think. And here you have this lame man literally experiencing the words that the Apostle Paul has taught us. The lame man simply asked for silver and gold. He asked for alms so that he could buy the essentials for his life, that he could sustain himself, so that he could survive. That's all he was asking for. And here God, looking down on this situation, knowing that he has asked for this, he went above all that he could ask or even conceive. There is nothing in the story to even show that this man ever even conceived this idea or notion that he would walk. He had never walked in his entire life. The thought never crossed his mind. If that's what it did, then he would have asked for that. But he didn't. He was just asking for the basic essentials. And Yeshua came in. He saw this man. He saw his heart, and he went above all that he could ask or think. We need to be reminded of who Yeshua is and his capabilities, his love and compassion. It surpasses all knowledge. Again, this is something we read in Ephesians chapter 3. I want you to be encouraged by this. We need to be men and women of faith. Men and women, as we go to prayer, as we go to petition, take the time to petition the Lord and say, "Lord, I am asking for these things, but one thing I know, the very things that are impossible in this life, that people would say, well, you've been lame from your mother's womb. You have no hope. There's no hope for you to walk again. Don't worry about it. Just serve the God in the state that you're in. You're going to be fine." I mean, this is what blows my mind. No, God can go above all that. He is the God of impossibilities. This is the Messiah I serve. This is the Messiah I will always serve. I want to follow him with that kind of faith, with that kind of hope. And so I just had to share this with you because it is so powerful. As we enter into days of hopelessness, and this is how the world perceives it, as we enter into a time of tribulation and horror, we can't forget who Yeshua is. And this whole concept that he will never leave us or forsake us, this whole concept, he can go above all that I can even conceive in my mind. He can accomplish in my life. We are to know his heart. And his heart is this: I know the plans that I have for you, to give you a future and a hope, to prosper you. This is who he is. And so hopefully these words encourage you today. Meditate on this. Now, what does this mean in your life? What should it mean? So with that said, bless you in the name of our Lord.